hunter for days.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
And when he's at the top of his game, you see that big smile, that's when you know everything is clicking. That means he's accurate throwing the football. They can't get him down in the run game, and his team is having a whole lot of fun because when they score a touchdown, some fan's going to get lucky and get the game ball.
On first down, Newton firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Cam's going to run the option right. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
There's Matt Bosher now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. The numbers for him from a week ago: 14 carries, 53 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them, because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Deidrin Senna. Defensive starters, here they are for Atlanta. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve, because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down. A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Set to Valve, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better that they work on, training camp, off-season work, OTAs. But also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And Carolina scores to cap it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
The numbers for Coleman last week. 15 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
Coleman now. And now running right through it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Coleman. There he goes inside the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And the agility got him a few extra before he's taken down right at the 10. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Well, defense are going to have to start doing something different because this guy's absolutely carving them up, especially down here in the red zone. He's been one of the top receiving tight ends here in the first half of the season.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Now Newton. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Now it's Newton. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. The shotgun snap for Newton. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. This is Coleman. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 93 yards. And the Falcons are in for 6. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Now Newton on 1st down. Flinches with a catch over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is not with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Coleman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. Ross on the return. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now a handoff looking right. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Ryan now off the bootleg. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. Extra point safely through, and it's now 21-7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
We'll continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance that run.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll go on the ground. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The play fake. Here's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Ryan now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Second and 10, it's Ryan again. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm, incomplete. Now it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On third down, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And you give him that much time to throw, especially on third down, he's going to pick you apart.
You've got to increase your urgency. Even if you don't blitz or bring extra people on the pass rush, the guys going after him, they've got to get home. Otherwise, exactly as you described, he picks you apart and picks up yet another first down.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ryan now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's first and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Freeman. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Throwing again, Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. The extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. Dances by him. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL. We are officially into the second half of the season.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. And really a solid group effort. I mean, the montage focuses on him, and rightfully so, but it's been a good job of a team to get this lead.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that. I love the observation. Offensive line and people having to protect him, they've really been in sync and been on point. How about the guys going out and catching the ball? Well, the receivers, the running backs, everyone is involved today. And what we're watching right now is really a beautiful team effort, isn't it?
Absolutely. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On second down, Freeman. Space to maneuver at the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Hey, let's go!
Now Ryan on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a nice lead, you should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On first down, Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They go play action here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Matt Ryan in the offense heading back onto the field. He has been on his A game. We're in the third quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding my eyes finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what he's going to do next. This has been a blast to watch him play the position.
Yeah, he's been spectacular with those 4 touchdown passes. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Ryan now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Freeman again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted.
Get up!
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan now with 5 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Falcons add on. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming.
He's got daylight. The 40. The 20, 10, touchdown, Carolina. A great play there, 78 yards. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Point after try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 24. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. He'll rifle this one. He's got a man. Complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now it's Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game, and he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here's Newton now on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Set. 180.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And that is incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that, because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding. Offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Here's Ryan to throw. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be a second and long.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at third down here. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A 20th carry now for Devontae Freeman. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Ito Smith, his first carry. Oh, the spin. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on first and second down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on fourth down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on first and second down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back to throw, Newton. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hey, we got set. Like 80.
On second down, here's Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league, totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They go play action now. Ryan stays on his feet. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ready, 525.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. Shifts by him and shedding the tackle, and now some room. That one good for 33 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Got a man. It's Ross, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. As his guys are in for 6, and the Falcons add on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, you know, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you. And it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
On first down, it's Newton. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Off play action. Newton. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal
I
foul.
think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. To the air again, Newton. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it's a 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Holding. Offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Newton throwing again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a pickup of 17 there, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They run, Devontae Freeman. And down to the 36-yard line here. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
You have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Ryan now off the bootleg. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. This is taken around the 12. And now running right through it. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Falcons, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Carolina, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.